Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 244.
Is it?
I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. That's Matt Lawrence.
It is.
Adrian Petty, hello.
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Good. There's a fucking hair just hanging off this thing.
It just immediately starts picking away at his
No,
pop filter.
because what happened was I was so close and I moved and the hair got me in my nose and now I have to sneeze.
You are the only one who uses that one. So
Yeah, I know. Because you guys have the condenser mics.
yeah.
I'm in the bitch class over here. Right, Matt?
Yeah.
You're a bit loud, too.
I'm a bit loud?
Yeah, come on, Adriano. You're freaking
Fuck
yelling into the
off,
damn mic.
Matt.
Jesus Christ. Like 2 is in like age 2? You making fun of him? Don't look at me ever again.
How's that?
That's better.
All right. That's good to know.
So, in the news today, not too much. Not too much news, actually. You put in a lot of stuff that is a little relevant.
Like
you
what?
say little of relevance?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Name me one thing.
Hang on, I gotta pull it up.
Here we go. Here we go. Has to get his notes.
What are you talking about?
Talking about you getting your notes.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay, pulling up his notes here. The Spider-Man movies. That's a bit irrelevant.
How's that irrelevant?
Relevant in terms of nerdy things, but irrelevant.
Literally,
in terms of
we have like
video
full
games.
conversations in this podcast about like Star Wars.
But I never
shit.
put in the actual stories of those things.
Ugh.
We can talk about them.
Got the semantics out.
But I'm flooding the thing so you get to pick what you want to
Yeah,
put
that's
in.
fine.
Multiple choice.
What else?
Scantron.
What else stood out to you on the?
Disney sets March 20 closing date for 21st Century Fox acquisition.
You don't think that's irrelevant to talk about that?
Not to gaming. We can talk about it. If you want to talk about it.
Like you're the one who said in the past, you're like, it's like we should probably also be expanding the podcast.
That is actually what you said there,
Yes,
Mr.
because
Johnson.
it's a crowded field and
Yeah.
no one's going to listen to some random gaming podcast.
So if you want me to stick to just gaming, I can stick to just gaming.
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to expand it more and just?
No, yeah, I'll expand it, and that's why
I mean, I think we
I put
already
that shit
have.
in there. Yeah.
All right,
I think
I'll start including them actually into the layout then.
I think we. That's fine. But I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we already have kind of effectively.
But just naturally. Like I haven't written down like a
Yeah.
point and then we talk about it.
Every time we go see a movie in theaters for premiere day, we.
But that's part of the what's new segment.
All right.
Speaking of which, what's new?
Are we going to go see Shazam on April 5th?
I'll go. I heard it's really fun.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it's a really fun movie.
Because it is March. Was it March 15th?
It's March 15th. Yeah.
Should probably be ordering tickets if we're going to do that.
You think it's gonna sell out?
Probably not.
It looks bad. It doesn't. The trailers don't make it look good.
You mean that whole Hamilton cityscape they have going on in the background?
That's fine. I'm just saying, kids in movies is tough to sell.
That's very true. Considering this is like a superhero, superhero movie featuring 2 kids,
Yeah.
it's a little bit.
I also think that like DC is officially giving up on their
They're like combined universe. where
Yeah.
everything's stitched together.
yeah.
I
Because
don't, I don't know why they couldn't do it.
because they had too many producers interfering with too many directors, and they had too many people trying to steer ship.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Said you with Marvel, you had Kevin Feige. What's his name?
Feige.
Feige. I call him Foggy. Like he kind of was pulling the strings, and while you had different directors and different visions, he had the overall MCU vision.
Speaking of directors, okay, I guess he's a producer, but James Gunn is now back on Guardians of the Galaxy.
I guess he's not doing Suicide Squad 2.
I think he's doing Suicide Squad 2 as well.
Really, I am surprised that there's.
So
Yeah, why did they?
I'm surprised that each studio is
backpedal?
letting him do that.
I don't know why it took him so long. They must have still been negotiating then.
Or it's because he got a competing role, and then they're like, "Oh shit."
Or that, but I wonder if they also had trouble finding a new director. Someone that would want to take on the mantle of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I also think just the fact that Disney, for a while there, after they kicked him out, they brought him back for talks, which fell through. Just the fact that like Disney was even talking to him suggests to me that Disney kind of regretted their decision.
It was a stupid decision.
It was a stupid decision. Yeah.
They acted way too quickly.
Do you think they'll lose any sales by bringing him back?
No, not at all.
Like, not at least en masse.
No, because I don't think most people really cared. The tweets were like 10 years old or something like that.
But
and some of them were bad.
Some of them were bad. But here's the thing, though. Like, they're jokes. Okay?
He was doing it to get a rise out of people, yeah.
Yeah, like it's no different from a comedian going up onto a stage and doing, very risque material to get a laugh out of somebody. But you wouldn't ban that comedian from ever like doing anything ever again.
That is starting to turn because like some comedy clubs are doing like no jokes about this, no jokes about that. You can't say stuff that's like this. They have like a manifesto, if you will, of stuff you can't say.
Like what?
Joe Rogan covers it a few times where he's received like a list of stuff where you can't say things that like target certain types of people. You can't say things against like animals or whatever. Like I'm talking out of my ass. I don't actually know the points, but he's gone over a few of them on his show.
Yeah,
where he said like a few comedy clubs are doing that now.
Yeah, like Pete Davidson is getting called out by the Catholic Church.
Who? That's pretty funny though. That's a bit ironic.
Yeah. What was his comparison on Weekend Update?
I don't actually know what the joke was, but the backlash was hilarious to me.
So Pete Davidson recently, I'll see if I can bing this quickly.
Who is Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson is a quote unquote stand up comedian. I don't know how
cast member of SNL.
Yeah, but he's a cast member of SNL. He's dating Kate Beckinsale right now, apparently.
There you go.
So good for him.
Couple nasty pictures of them making out at some basketball game or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was real gross.
Oh. It's Pete Davidson. Like he's not.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, he looks like he's
must be all his charm.
He looks like he's a fourth member of Blink-182. That's what he looks like.
Maybe he's a funny guy. Maybe yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but Kate Beckinsale. Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know who Kate Beckinsale?
I know who Kate Beckinsale is. Yeah.
Okay, so Pete Davidson made a joke on Weekend Update about so he goes, quote, "This guy is a monster and he should go to jail forever," end quote. Davidson said, referring to R&B singer R. Kelly, who has been accused of sexually abusing young women. Pete Davidson continues, says, "But if you support the Catholic Church, isn't that like the same thing as being an R. Kelly fan? I don't really see the difference except for one's music is significantly better." And now the Catholic Church is upset.
Which is funny because of what they did was way more intense. And like on a scale way larger.
Yeah.
Like, and for them to be looking for an apology is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
But like, I mean, if they're trying to clean their act up, being constantly pulled back to that,
you got to pay the price for what you did, though.
Part of trying to clean your act up is accepting what happened and trying to move on. Like the worst thing you can do is if you're trying to change an image, is say, "Don't ever look at me like that." It's like, no, you need to just accept that, play into it, almost, and then kind of move on.
And comics have always been under the spotlight for when things like that, and it's like certain comics can get away with it because if they're known for being edgy, they can just kind of be edgy. Ricky Gervais is one.
Yeah. And they're only upset too because that was on broadcast television on NBC.
Right.
If he did that on an HBO special, nobody would give a shit.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like even the shows there like held to a different standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the network's supposed to be like family friendly and stuff.
Right.
Even at 12:30.
I was gonna say, isn't that kind of late for being that considerate of the family?
We get updates after the first performance. It's an hour in if you're lucky.
I've seen things on like Colbert that like I know what it is because you can pretty much tell what it is, but they still blur it out, and it's like it's not that bad, but they're so just worried of anything offending anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Did you ever see the one segment where he was like, where he had like, I can't remember. It was like a penis with balls drawn like very, very basically drawn on like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And he's like, honest to God, if I show you this, they're gonna blur it out. He's like, but if I put these fake eyes and glasses at the top and make it into a face, then it doesn't. And he's a lot like it'll immediately blurs. He's like, because the network sensors are gonna let it. But as soon as they take it away, it's gonna blur again.
That's fucking weird, man.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Who's that? Matt, was that you? Who was new? What's new with you?
I don't think you asked it.
Or was it just a general
I know
question?
I literally haven't said anything.
Yeah,
okay.
you asked it, and then I asked about Shazam, and that's
that's
how
right,
that
okay.
went.
All right.
Go ahead, Matt. You start.
Well, I beat and platinumed Far Cry New Dawn, and then Marty was
I'm so sorry.
and then Marty was concerned he wasn't going to beat it, so I beat that with him as well. So he's done too. So that's two. I think I've played that game in terms of the amount of missions, not having done each mission over and over again. I've probably beat that game 3 times. I did the intro like 3 times, did the ending twice, and did the middle like 2-3 times. So,
What a strange game.
So I'm done that game. Already uninstalled it. That's donezo, and got the Division 2 downloading right now. Pretty good.
I was probably done.
Well, yeah, it's long since done.
Yeah.
And again, pre-ordered it at the 11th hour, 11:30 p.m. Just was like, oh yeah, I got to pre-order this.
You could have just walked in and grabbed the disc. All the pre-order codes are in it.
Could have, yeah, but I mean, downloading's fast enough in my house, so.
I've already created my character so far.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
He's ahead of the curve.
A more extensive character creator,
Right.
but still not that extensive. It's better than what it was.
I'm assuming you're female.
Yeah. But like, there's like, adjust your nose, and there's like a big slider, right? And there's like maybe
that's too much for me.
there's maybe like 10 slots on there, and it hardly changes anything.
I see that's too much for me. I don't care about the little details.
But the problem was like I chose like a default head to start off with, and I just started adjusting it, and it's like there's so little you can do that I tried my best to make it look somewhat decent.
Man,
It's difficult. It's a weird character model, like just odd.
I feel like the Division 2 is using the Ghost Recon Wildlands models.
I was saying I don't think the Division 2, based on the beta, like I don't think it's a very good looking game.
There's a lot of detail, but just there's no depth to the image, and the colors don't pop. It's all very muted and flat,
Yeah.
But we had the same problem with the first
and
game.
stuff looks blurry. Like things in the background like just looks blurry.
That might be for performance, but I mean, that was also the beta. But the first game, we had the same problem where sometimes it would look really good in some light, and then other times it would be like, what this looks like shit.
Maybe, but look, like thinking back about that game, I always remember that game looking good though. Like I remember very specific, like especially in the snow and like the piles of bodies just up against the wall, and the parking garage and the cars all spilling out of it. Like I remember all those specific things, or the helicopter on fire in the dark zone, or like the helicopter crash in the dark zone.
It seemed like the dark zone was
like,
pretty good.
I
It was pretty populated.
remember all the major set pieces of New York, of Manhattan. But granted, I've only played the same beta twice on Division 2, but just looking at the cityscape, it's just everything.
Well,
Everything seems like it's going to blend in more together. Like there's no, like here's the thing though. At a certain point in New York, you could probably take away my map and my mini map. I could still tell you roughly where on the map I am. I don't think I'll be able to do that in Division, even though there's fucking massive monuments like White House and the Capitol building. And
DC's very flat though.
Yeah.
There's no skyscrapers or anything.
yeah,
I always find that funny about countries. It's like, why wouldn't you make your best city your capital? I mean, DC is like cool for all its monument and historic value, but I feel like New York should be the capital.
can you imagine logistically protecting a president in New York City?
Yeah, but I feel like your best city should be your country's capital.
Would define best though.
Just big,
Like
just
like
the,
like
lot happening.
Like would you
economy-wise?
would you say Toronto is the best city?
Toronto or Vancouver or Montreal.
Okay, what about those three make those the best?
It's just the economic activity happening there.
Oh, okay, I find that reasoning.
I don't mean a best in terms of like living standards or anything like that. I just mean like, what is the most advanced place in your country?
That's probably why it's never the capital, or rarely. Maybe that's it. Maybe one has got more government and administrative, and the other ones are more like free trade, if you will.
I mean, like Toronto's the capital of Ontario.
Yeah,
You know,
but that's also a lesser capital.
Yes.
There's also less like stuff going on.
but Ottawa is kind of similar to Washington in the same way, where it's just It's not as big of a city, and it's
Ottawa
kinda,
sucks.
All right.
I like Ottawa. I don't know.
Ottawa
it sucks.
At like fucking 8:30, the city shuts down.
Oh yeah. But
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, there's nothing happening. Like on weekends, nothing is open because it's a government city. So like they people like operate during 8 to 4, and they all the time when people are actually out like at lunch or dinner or at lunch or celebrating or drinking or whatever is like 8 to 4 during operational hours and not on nights or weekends. Yeah,
That's weird.
Ottawa's a garbage city.
I like Ottawa. Cold.
Never been there, man.
Montreal.
Goddamn cold. You never been there?
Never been there.
Montreal.
Montreal's cold too.
Yeah. I remember you saying you didn't like Montreal.
Well, I didn't like it because I think I had to work and I was alone. Do you know what I mean?
That sounds amazing.
No, it was
I
literally
fucking love that.
it was literally you go to work. I just sit there and like transcribe videos and crap. All right. I come home, and that was it. I just be in my apartment the rest of the day. I didn't do anything. So
That sounds fucking fantastic.
no,
That's fantastic.
the most exciting thing that happened was the fire alarm went off and I had to go down 27 flights of stairs.
Jesus Christ.
While you're working or at home?
I was at home. I was at home.
You're on the 27th floor?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
fantastic during lightning storms. That's great.
Oh. Cool.
All right,
That is episode 244, folks.
Matt.
Huh?
Oh, we talked about you.
Damn
We
it.
talked
What
about
are you doing today?
Nothing. I went and did my Overwatch placement matches. Got to get those out of the way. Because if I'm in a jam for space with Division 2, I'm going to have to delete Overwatch.
Oh man.
But I think I should be okay. But yeah, I got those out of the way. I may have played Unity once since last time. Probably not. I've not actually touched that game.
I think you're done. So
Oh no, absolutely not. No.
That's it.
No.
Wrap it up. Give it a check mark. Uninstall. I don't think you're gonna finish Unity because you've every time that you've played it that I'm aware of, you've complained and then sent us a message.
Yes, but I complain about everything though.
Yes, but
Yeah,
but everyone also complained about Unity.
10 out of 13. Like I'm.
Oh wow, Jesus Christ!
I'm in the.
Then finish it. Come on,
yeah,
bud.
I told you I'm gonna finish.
I thought you were
it.
gonna be on like sequence 4 or something.
No, when you gun for main missions, you pretty much
Just get it done, man.
Yeah.
Tonight, fuck.
I probably could.
You really could.
Because I'm gonna go home and go to bed.
Which you really could. Which is good though. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, but other than that, just downloading the Division 2. Gonna get ready for that tomorrow. You know, the three of us, seeing as Aaron did not get his copy in
No,
time.
it's sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
GG.
Yeah.
I wonder how early you have to order it then.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
This is Ubisoft we're talking about here. Like,
Yeah,
they
they
can't
should-
get their own game.
They should just have it ready on his desk already.
Although it was made at Massive, which is in where's Massive?
No, but the printing press is Sony. Like they run that. Not they send the game to Sony and they print it.
Right.
So
Yeah. I have a gaming PC sitting right there.
There you go.
This is a pretty fun build. I enjoyed it.
Went smoothly.
No, we had no real problems.
A little bit of strangeness on the motherboard screws, because whoever decided to make that manual was an idiot. I'm just gonna say it right now, was a damn idiot.
why would happen?
They didn't put labels, so there's little baggies with each type of screw, and there was maybe 5 or 6 type of screws. They didn't label the screws. There's like a engineering drawing of the screws, and so instead of saying like this is A1 and the bag is labeled as A1, nope, just here's like a screw and this is what it looks like. So like there's 2 or 3 of them that look near identical, and there's one that like
if you show me the can I next time that happens can I show you a trick with the manual and a screw?
Sure.
You hold a screw up to the manual
No,
and they're printed in size.
no.
No?
These ones were not.
No,
these
these are
massive.
massive. These are massive
pictures.
screws.
Really?
And it showed you like the like a cross section of it, and then it showed you the top of it,
Yes.
and that's all you had.
And the weird thing is like the ones that were for the motherboard, like to bolt in the motherboard to the standoffs in the case, were they had these little lips on them, and it was the only screw on the manual had this little lip. So I looked through all the bags. There was only one that had the little lips on it. So we're like, oh, I guess that's it. Wasn't it? That wasn't the right type at all. They weren't screwing in properly. It was another one.
Too small. Yeah.
Yeah, way too small.
Why aren't all the screws just the same size? Like that in the case.
That's probably just because
the rest of them were the
there's-
same size. Why? What were those tiny ones for?
What do you mean?
What were the tiny screws for?
What tiny ones?
The ones we tried to use in the motherboard.
I can't remember what we used.
We never
those
used
for.
them for
I don't
anything
know
else.
what the hell we use those for.
Yeah.
Oh, those are probably for hard drives.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess. 'Cause
Or something super important as your computer just falls apart right now.
this thing has 6 bays for hard drives.
Oh yeah, we took off the top because we were doing a little bit of wire management, so we like took off the top, a little bit of cable management, and we were like, we were twist tying or cable tying something to the top like frame. So you can take that front plastic off or the top plastic off, and there's another 3 or 4 bays up there that's just hidden. We didn't even see them because there's a bunch in the back too.
That's crazy.
So I'm probably gonna buy that case.
So the 3 in the back are for mechanical. You can put SSDs in them, obviously, but
Yeah, they have a
they're
little
bigger for
mountain thing.
mechanical. The ones at the top, you can fit 3 like laptop drives or solid state drives in there. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, like the whole right side, like that solid side, is all cables and the power supply and the hard drives.
And then I think my motherboard has like 5 or 6 SATA ports on it.
6, I think.
So that's pretty good.
I
too.
can't remember now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of damn storage. Holy Christ!
Yeah, some people go crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just bought a 4-bay hard drive thing to put 4 hard drives in, and then my computer only holds 2.
Right.
3 if I really want to sneak it into the extra CD drive slot. I could probably sneak one in there.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, no, it only holds 2 plus the 4 on top in a separate unit that I have, which is broken out of the box. Motherfuckers.
Oh, the fan, right?
Fan. Yeah, and I said, hey guys, this is broken. They said, okay, we'll send you a fan. Still haven't sent me the fan.
Damn it.
It's gonna be like 6 to 8 weeks before that thing gets to me. I'm gonna be pissed off.
As far as I can tell, it's a pretty good system though.
Well, yeah, 2080 Ryzen 7, the new one, 2700.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I don't think the board can overclock, and I don't think the just the 2700 can overclock. You need the X for overclocking, I think. And
I think that's the preferred model for it. Yeah.
And I don't.
I don't touch overclocking at all.
That's
so
what
I'm
I was
not-
wondering. Like,
I'm not-
what do you? Why overclock?
You get better performance for what you paid for.
But then you need more cooling.
Not necessarily.
No.
Not necessarily, because the factories will not necessarily clock it back, but the specs are laid out such that there's a bit of a buffer. Because if something starts to fail, you don't want your PC like CPU just to immediately overheat or something. So it's just or like if the thermal paste isn't applied perfectly, like you're an amateur and you have no idea.
Yeah.
You know that type of stuff. It's taking into account that there may be a slight failure in some way. So there's a precautionary layer essentially.
And then I didn't want necessarily anything to be RGB, but I ended up the motherboard has the one strip of like RGB on it,
I mean, we should just set to white anyway.
red, I think.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
right. That's
and
right.
Yeah, I
then
can
the-
see it.
And then the cooler has a red and white AMD logo on it.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm happy with it, Matt. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm
you
surprised.
you didn't want any RGB on that? You didn't.
I don't care for RGB at all.
Man, mine would be all fucking red.
Just fucking grab a piece of black Bristol board and put it over the thing there. You won't see anything.
No, I want to see inside of it, but I don't have any. I don't like or if I can avoid it, it's fine. If it comes with it, that's fine too. It's just I have no concern for RGB though. It looks cool though.
Yeah, that's a sexy piece of machine you got there, Ryan.
The cable managing at the end really cleaned it up too.
Yeah, it was nice. I did change one thing because you remember we had the motherboard power like coming in and going like right around and so you had like this big loop kind of just going back to the thing.
Yeah.
I moved it to the lower
The lower hole.
grommet and then it kind of comes up more. It looks a little more stylized.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I looked at the pictures of other people's
That's
interiors.
what they did.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we were just like quickly trying to test everything.
yeah.
Pretty good though.
So there you go. I'm now a PC master race elitist.
But
Sell-
you
sell that
still say
PS4.
that your PS4 is going to be your main
Oh yeah,
console.
PS4 is gonna be my main console.
I don't believe you.
PS5 is gonna be my main console.
No, the
I
thing is
don't
though,
believe you.
you kind of have to believe him because it's shiny and new right now, and he's still playing his PS4 every night. So, with that being said, once it loses its luster, now you have even less incentive to play it.
Oh man, I want to play stuff exclusively on my PC.
It's just a better experience on console. It just is.
You plug it in, you don't have to mess around. We were messing around with the resolution for YouTube, for Christ's sake.
That's because you're outputting it to like.
It doesn't matter. You're still output. Look
Yes,
what you had to do.
but
Look what
once
you had
you-
to do. You had to do something.
But
That's
once
the whole
you,
problem.
once you, but the thing is, that once you have it set up, it's set up though.
Not necessarily. The updates tomorrow. Then here we go again. You're fucking
The
around.
updates on my window, updates from Windows or from NVIDIA have never fucked up my resolution.
my Microsoft Teams, the chatting app, tanked both my Windows 10 tablet and my Windows 10 computer. Literally,
Mac,
I was trying to sign in. It took me 5 minutes to sign in
Matt,
because they both failed
Matt,
after an update.
can I tell you something about
and
you?
it used all
Can
my
I-
CPU and
Can I
all
tell
my
you something
RAM.
about you though?
All of it.
You have a curse upon you. I'm
Well,
convinced at some point in your life you did something to a gypsy and she
To a
spit on
gypsy.
you, and that cursed you forever. Because only bad things ever seem to happen to you.
No, but there are just annoying things with it. Like just running into the fact we had to change the screen resolution.
Yeah, like that's
Yes.
at the
annoying.
beginning was
yes,
annoying.
you have to do that. But once you have it set up, like if you say this is gonna be my monitor,
No, but
or
this,
that's gonna
this
be
has
my
to happen. This has to happen with every game now. I have to make sure the settings are correct.
What happened to your thing?
I think I went to sleep.
I don't.
Got a lot quieter in here, didn't it?
Yeah, I got a lot quiet. Yeah, and I
then
turned
not
that
all
off.
not all games support a controller, and I like playing with a controller, and so that's an
Most,
issue.
but
My
90
games are all in different launchers and crap, so I got to find out where they are. Remember which launcher has what game.
No.
It's just
Oh, no.
added on complexity.
Hold on. With the launcher, there's an easy thing. You guys
Again, I have to do something.
No. It's incredibly easy. That GeForce experience you have installed.
It has them all in there.
Yeah. So after you launch it the first time on whatever launcher, it's automatically added to GeForce, and you just go there.
You can also just add them to Steam.
You can also add them to whatever client you want. You can add them to
But
anything.
that's me doing something.
Or just launch it once and then go back to GeForce. Or put a fucking desktop desktop
But
shortcut on it.
he is right though. It is still doing something. Like with a console, it's like I always said. Like I put it in, and if it runs like shit or looks like shit, I'm like, well, I guess that's it, and then I move on with my life. With a computer, I'm like, oh fuck, you know, fuck around with the resolution. Then you're messing around with this,
And
you're looking at the shadows, and you're fucking around.
I'm having a hard time with the frame rate too. It's bothering me. I'm getting like slightly nauseous
what?
with the frame rate. Yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't understand what's wrong.
At your
with
house, it
that.
was fine. I might be my TV.
I think it's because you're playing it on this TV. Put it on. No, don't put it on that monitor. Don't
I
put
put it on this monitor. It was bad too.
Yeah, don't put it on that monitor. Buy a new PC.
There's
buy,
two,
buy, buy an
there
Asus.
goes $300.
Right. When you
more
spend
like 500.
No,
depends on which one you
no.
want.
My Asus. I have a fantastic Asus monitor, and I think it was on sale for like $220 or something like that. You can get it. You can get it for under $300.
This debate right here is
Okay.
a problem with PC gaming.
Okay, but like just
yeah, you're not wrong.
if you spend $2,000 on that, you can't complain about a $200 to $300 monitor.
Yes, I can.
What the fuck? Another $200 or $300 monitor? That's 20% of the graphics card.
Yeah, but it's a
That's
it's a
almost the
display, though.
CPU.
It's a display though.
Yeah, but we're talking about 200 times like
Also-
$200 pieces of hardware times like a bunch of times. That what was that thing? That mouse was what $60, $70.
And that was the cheapest one of,
And you
of,
don't have a
of, the, of
keyboard
the
yet.
Corsair mice.
Yeah, like fuck. It's a lot. It's too much. How much did you spend on your accessories? Just your accessories.
Okay. What do you mean, like my keyboard and my mouse and my
Keyboard, mouse, monitor.
monitor was $220 or something like that. I think might have been $199. Two in the 200 somewhere like that. Maybe it was less. Mouse was on sale, $60, but it's a wired one. I specifically wanted a wired one.
Right.
I didn't. I had some problems with wireless in the past. I didn't like that. Keyboard was I got on clearance, Logitech mechanical. That one was clearance 60 or 80. I don't remember. It was under 100, but it was regular 200. I got on clearance for 60 or $80. So then if you want to throw the Xbox controller with the dongle thing that I bought,
Yeah.
that was on sale because those come together. So it's an inflated price, but it was on sale. So it was like 60 or $70. So
We're still talking about significant savings with the fact that most people already have a TV. To be fair,
but here's the thing though. Also, I output in rare instances. I output my monitor, my computer to my TV, and I don't have this problem. So there's probably
I'm wondering
something
if
going on. It's probably whatever this is fixable.
I wonder if I'm not used to anything higher than 30.
probably.
Because
Although Call of Duty.
Yeah, but I had this issue with like Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. You can adjust whether you want frame rate prioritized or like visuals
On the
And
PS4?
Yeah, on the PS4 Pro. And so when I switched on frame rate, like it looked weird to me. It looked unnatural because I've been so used to everything running at 30.
How were you watching?
Battlefront was fine, but stuff like Anthem and
Metro.
freaks me out.
Try doing it to 30.
Maybe I need to set it to 30.
How were you like watching The Hobbit when it was that weird 48 frames?
Well, you had to go to the theater that had.
I thought it was always it was all 48.
No, it was specific theaters that had it.
Ow.
You need the projectors to show it at that frame rate.
Why did they do that?
Because he wanted. So you know how like the gimmick of doubling your frame rate from 30s to 60, like people are like now people want 60 frames in games. So the standard the frame rate of film is 24.
Okay.
24 frames a second is film. But he wanted to double that. Like he wanted the novelty on that, but he still wanted to honor film speed rate. So he just doubled it to 48. And it was making people sick.
Because I don't think I've ever been like, man, this film's lagging.
I heard people
That's
were
weird.
getting sick when in the
getting
previews
motion sick,
when they previewed it,
Yeah.
and people said it like just didn't look right.
Yeah.
I think they shot it. They had 2 red cameras because they needed to shoot 3D. So every single camera had 2 red cameras shooting at 48 frames per second.
I think it was actually 3 cameras. I think there was one in the middle just getting a static. Because for the 3D, it was your left and your right.
Yeah, but you can still choose one as your basic one.
But the thing is, though, depending on your composition of the frame, like if this is
I'm sure they're composing to one
yeah.
camera, but then just taking the extra detail for 3D.
Messed up.
So yeah, I'll need to fiddle around. But again, that's more problems with just having to fiddle around.
But once you
Whereas my
have it,
PS4 game just runs. But if I had to do this with every single game, I got to go into my settings, make sure it's at 30. That's just annoying.
I'm gonna be honest, I've very rarely gone like. Because again, with the GeForce experience, after you launch it, immediately exit, you go into the GeForce and it shows you. It says like this is what it's at, this is what we think, and you can literally change it right there, and it'll just do it.
I've seen it. It's great.
Yeah,
I love that app. Yeah. So anyway, let's hop into the stories. Fortnite no longer matches Switch with PS4 and Xbox One for crossplay.
Yeah, I found this kind of weird.
Well, I mean, it's not like they took it away. It's just what is the default when you're booting into the game.
It's only random matchmaking. It's only random matchmaking.
That's how it was before.
What?
I think it's changed. Anyway, this is from GameSpot. It said following the 8.10 update, PS4 and Xbox One players will now by default be grouped in the same matchmaking pool in Battle Royale. Nintendo Switch players who were previously part of the same matchmaking pool as those on other consoles will now be grouped with mobile players to ensure an on average better per game experience.
Yeah,
So they're now separating.
but not for invitees.
Right.
Like a PS4 guy could invite.
Anyone
a Switch
can come
guy.
into whatever they want still.
Yeah,
But just what do you do by default? Who are you going to be grouped up with?
which is
So
fine.
the consoles are grouped up, the mobile guys are grouped up, and I guess the PC guys are grouped up.
What's hilarious about that is like the Switch is still more capable than a cell phone, in my opinion. So you're gonna have people building the hell out of people. They're gonna be just dragging them through the mud.
However, the phones now have controller support,
Yes,
but I don't know how many kids actually do that.
I tried to get it working on my nephew's iPad. It was not working.
What controller were you using though?
Xbox One. and
Well, you
PS4.
have to get the.
You have to get an MFI
Yeah.
one, which is fucking
What is that whole scenario? MFI? What do you mean?
Made for iPhone.
made for iPhone or made for iOS or whatever it is.
Oh,
And because
here we go.
Apple blocks it, and
You know what they should do? Block it and then make their own controller.
if they made their own controller, I could somewhat reasonably understand that. If they said we want you to use this Apple issue controller, but it's going to have the same, it's going to have the 2 triggers, it's going to have the 2 shoulders, it's going to have your 4 face buttons and your two analog sticks and your D-pad and your start. Like,
But I would make it such that
I-
that hardware cannot run on anything else.
that would be dumb
What do you mean?
because they
Runs on your Mac desktop.
no, but my
your MacBook,
no,
and your
but
iPhone.
my Apple earbuds work in non-Apple.
No, but
products.
I believe that Apple shouldn't have that. Apple should be Apple.
If-
you don't you escape
Matt's,
the ecosystem, get the heck out of here.
But the latest iPad reveal, they did show that it's USB-C now. It's not.
yeah, no, I don't think
Which
they
is
should have did that.
Matt has this problem where things need to either be 0 or 100.
And so Apple
and
needs to be
so,
100. They
yeah.
need to, and I would have kicked Spotify off the App Store too.
He accepts no middle ground.
You make Apple Music, your service is no longer needed, and you kick Apple
How,
Music.
can-
out.
you cannot-
how do you feel
Spotify
about
over
how do you
there.
feel about him doing the AMD chip, but then it's the
The Vegas aren't as viable
There
as
aren't- there
Nvidia.
aren't
But the
good.
point is though he mixed.
I would do it too.
Okay, so you're going against your own philosophy right now.
No, because there is a certain amount of viability.
He means the philosophy of Apple though. Apple's a very closed ecosystem, so
And
he's-
I want it
he
to be
wants,
closed.
He thinks if you're going to be closed, you should go all the way.
It's just Apple. It's just Apple I'm talking about. Apple should be AirPods should only run on Apple products and only the new ones, not the old ones. Those plebs, get them out of here.
But I would disagree. This is not Apple's philosophy. Apple has actually always been open. Microsoft.
No, that's why I'm saying it's my
themselves-
philosophy for Apple.
Microsoft themselves were early software developers for Apple products.
Yeah. All I'm saying is
So it is not a philosophy they've ever had of being completely closed in.
that's why it's my philosophy for Apple.
Yes, which would not work.
You know how they kicked all those flashlight apps off the store? I would have
Yeah.
did the same thing to every music streaming service.
And all
Kick
the,
the flashlight apps
yeah.
off the store.
and all the emoji apps. Yeah.
Yeah, get them out
Why?
of here. So I would have got rid of all those music apps.
said
Get them out of here.
iOS now has this built in. Your apps are no longer needed.
That
Yeah,
is fucking
see, you know,
bullshit.
Spotify, Tidal, whoever else, no longer
that's
needed.
pretty
Get out of
funny.
here.
That's
That's fucking
pretty funny.
bullshit.
all podcast apps, get out of here.
now I kind of now I'm kind of leaning towards Spotify's argument. Where were we?
Fortnite.
No, you
Fortnite. Yeah, controller support. So okay, so go back to the controller. If Apple said we don't want you using your competitors' controllers, we want you to use this Apple issued controller,
You respect that more
I
than
would
a
respect that
third
more. It's
party
like
one.
you cannot use competitors' controllers, but we don't have one ourselves. It's like we're just
But
going to
they-
lock this
but-
out and not
but-
let anyone do it. It's
But
like,
they have
why?
ones. They have ones they've partnered with. That
Yeah.
you can work.
Okay.
That's the same. That's the same
That's
thing.
essentially the
as-
same thing. Yeah.
Okay. How why can't I walk into a Best Buy and just pick one up? Because
That I don't know. That's up to those third party companies. But
you want to why?
walk in-
Because Apple doesn't also want those on Best Buy shelves. They want those on Apple shelves.
Well, no, there is an Apple section of Best Buy. There's literally a mini Apple store in every Best Buy. But you can walk into Jump Plus and go grab one. They got them in there. And they work with the Apple TV too.
Oh, for what? There's 3 games.
Yeah,
that are
the
on
3
there?
games. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it is really strange that
it's
they would
fucking
assign
infuriating.
a developer essentially to developing a controller like compatibility, and then be like, it's not going to make the compatible hardware, and then not also push it. Like if it was a big partner that they actually were always with, it'd be like, oh, that makes sense.
But developers like Fortnite seem to think it's viable in some degree. Otherwise, why even give iOS the support for controllers anyway?
I think it's viable. I think it's becoming viable because of streaming, and they don't want to close any avenue off.
Well, someone must be using those controllers though. They're still for sale.
All I'm saying is that they should make their own and only allow their own.
I would love an Apple controller. That'd
There
be
you
great.
go.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't work on that PC.
Next up we have here. Yes, no, it wouldn't. But I got that Xbox one, that fancy Xbox one.
No. I'm just saying that would not be allowed in my Apple philosophy.
I wouldn't like cross contaminating those either. I don't even like that Apple keyboard plugged into that thing. I want to
Really?
run. I want to run out right now and buy a
Oh my
Corsair
Christ.
keyboard and plug that in.
You have an Apple keyboard. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's an old one too. That's a real old one.
Ugh.
Anyway, next story here. This was a rumor that came out. Adriano, you even sent this to us about Sony acquiring Take-Two.
Yeah.
Take-Two?
Take-Two Interactive.
Take-Two Interactive, yeah.
There's Take-Two and 2K games. And it always
2K
screws me
is
up.
Bioshock. Take-Two is Rockstar. And,
Doesn't Take-Two own 2K?
Yes. That's what's very
Take-Two-
confusing. here.
Take-Two owns 2K and Rockstar.
Is Gearbox in there somewhere too?
Is Gearbox independent or they? No, Gearbox publishes games,
Gearbox develops games, I think.
and they also publish games now too.
but
I think
but Gearbox.
I think
but I'm pretty sure
they-
2K published Borderlands.
they did.
Yeah, and Ubisoft published Brothers in Arms.
What the fuck is Ubisoft and Brothers Armor do?
Well, Ubisoft published Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms are made by Gearbox.
Gearbox made.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
bud.
didn't even know that.
So Gearbox must be independent. I don't think they're owned by 2K then.
But if Gearbox publishes games, why would they take their own game and go to 2K publishing?
Maybe they won't.
But they did.
This was
though.
before.
Maybe.
Anyway, this has to do with Sony buying Take-Two, who owns Rockstar and the GTA and Red Dead franchises. Now, this is a big rumor came out, got shared all over the place. It's been debunked. It's not happening.
Good.
But my question is, would that be enough for you guys to get a PS5?
Yes.
Because you love Red Dead.
Yeah. And GTA is a big one too.
I mean, you're probably getting a PS5 anyway, right? You always got all the consoles.
I'll probably just buy them both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, same here. I'll have them too.
I might stagger it this time because there was a long period of time in which I didn't use. Like I split a little bit. Like I have a weird like crossover time where it's
Well,
like
yeah, same with me too. Yeah.
well, if there's like if I buy the PS5 even and I have the PS4, I still use the PS4 more and I slowly move to the PS5 and then PS5 becomes full time.
Right.
I was then split between 4 consoles, 360, PS3, and then PS4, Xbox One. Too much. So
Right.
I might just stagger it, but I'll probably buy them all.
But what about you?
I don't know that would get me to buy a PS5.
But you haven't played Red Dead yet.
Yeah, you haven't.
I haven't played Red
You haven't
Dead.
played the best game around.
You're right. I haven't played it, so you can ask me again after I played it. But based off GTA 5, I probably would say no. But also at the same time, I firmly believe that Sony's going to have to expand their game
Outside of their
own ecosystem to survive. I think Xbox is taking directions taking steps in the right direction. I think Sony is either going to not do that and fold, or cave and actually spread it out.
I'm curious what the numbers would be like if Xbox didn't screw up with the launch of the Xbox One. Would they have been able to maintain that lead? Because remember, Sony caught up at the end of the last generation.
Right.
Would they have then just overtaken Microsoft regardless? Because they were already in that upward trajectory.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to say.
I wish we were in a universe where we could see what would happen if the Xbox One
Parallel
launch was
universe?
like fantastic.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And how many seasons of Firefly are there?
Yeah.
God damn it.
So those are the two burning questions.
And who's president of the United States? That one. I got to put that one in there now too.
Chevy Chase.
Oh no, I don't know what that means. What were you gonna say, Matt?
I'm trying. What the hell's that guy's name? Boogie298 said, and he had a very interesting point where he said, "Is PlayStation already folding because they're not doing E3 and Microsoft wants to talk next gen at E3?" I'm pretty sure that's been confirmed.
I don't think that's a fold though. I think Sony's just their lineup of games that they fired off just aren't lining up this time around.
Well, it isn't a full fold. It's not like they're giving up and not doing a new console. But
Yeah.
what I mean is like, are they really going to not have a response to Microsoft possibly unveiling a console at E3 this year?
Yeah, who knows?
Like that's no fucking good. Like that Sony's in trouble then because Microsoft's gonna have all this time whenever Sony comes up with something. Like, if Sony doesn't have a quick response, Microsoft's gonna just reply quickly.
But think about this though. Let's say Xbox does announce their next console first,
Yeah.
and who knows when Sony's going to announce it. But that gives them time to create a response. Whereas before, if you both had to announce at E3, because they both did additional announcements at E3.
Yeah.
When the PS4 and Xbox One came out. You know, and there's rumors that spread that maybe Sony lowered the price by $100 when they saw the price of the Xbox One.
Okay.
So they were able to adapt, but we don't know if that's true or not.
Thing is though, is Microsoft could just do that after.
After, yeah.
Oh, hey, we're gonna actually we figured out how to make this more efficient. $100 cheaper, guys.
Yeah, but they could react to whatever Microsoft announces at E3. They could have their the PlayStation experience in December.
I thought they were supposed to do Destination PlayStation
or whatever that is, yeah.
Where that was supposed to be in response to them not doing E3 because E3 is too late in the year. Well, we're quickly approaching that. Where's that at?
I think
What, are they
that's-
gonna do it
I think
after?
that's- I think
So
that's
it
for-
was
I
actually
think that's-
too early in
I think
the
that's
year
for
then.
next year.
Huh?
I think that's for next year. They talked about that.
Sony's in trouble, I think.
They talked about that being.
I think Sony's in trouble.
This is them. If this was flipped and Microsoft was in this position, we would be saying Microsoft's in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sony's in trouble.
Yeah.
I think Sony can survive if they lock down a lot of titles and they stay closed. If they want to sit in their figurative ivory tower and stay with a closed system,
I think that
fine.
might,
that does work.
delay it. But
If they get Red Dead and GTA, they're going to keep a lot of people. Period.
But it's not going to happen though.
No, but like hypothetically, if it was Red Dead, if they got Red Dead, GTA, Manhunt, I don't know how popular that is, but Manhunt, those are the 3 big Rockstar
Riveting.
games I could think of.
Midnight Club.
Midnight Club. Well, hey.
Man, I played the shit out of Midnight Club LA. That game was fucking awesome.
So we got like 2 mega hits and 2 popular, at least to some
I
extent.
don't think they're
titles.
going to make another Midnight Club.
Probably not another Manhunt either, to be honest. Okay, let's just say 2 big titles then, even just the 2. We take Red Dead and GTA, and then they also have Last of Us now. They have Last of Us, Uncharted, Days Gone, if that's going to have a series.
Horizon. It's a big
Horizon Zero
franchise.
Dawn.
God of War.
God of War.
Whale, Naked Man.
What? Whale, Naked
What
Man.
the fuck are you talking about?
Baby.
Oh,
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Oh, yeah.
So the thing is
Kojima
like,
and his
it's-
weird celebrity friends.
Fuck. So it's like, do you want to go to Microsoft, which has a whole bunch of games, or do you want to come here with our exclusive big games? That is, I think, a viable
But
strategy.
also the thing is, though, when you're listing off a lot of these games, though, with Sony,
yeah,
a lot of them are very narrative focused, one time playthrough. Like when you run through Last of Us once,
yeah.
and you run through Red Dead once, like you're like a lot of these games are not they do not have high replayability.
Red Dead does.
Okay, but just the fact that you're doing this, Matt, with your hand,
But, but also that's going to be on Xbox.
but I'm saying though is if Sony locked down,
Yeah, if we assume we
Take-Two,
buy them and make them exclusive.
Okay,
yeah.
but like a lot of these titles you're listing off Horizon.
Horizon's I'd say a one player.
Horizon and like Death Stranding, I can see only being based off his previous work. Like it's only going to be one. Like it's a very linear game. How often can you go back to those games?
That's a fair question.
Okay, when you look at stuff like, even though it's a really shitty launch like Anthem or Division or Sea of Thieves or whatever, these games are focused on bringing you back over and over again. Or Overwatch with their seasonal events over and over again. So like even if Sony does like their close, like here we have big titles, like I don't think that's going to say, like that might prolong their life a little bit, but I don't think that's going to save them. This is like right now looking at Sony, looking at Microsoft, this is how I see Sony and PlayStation being the next Sega. I see their consoles.
Really,
I see their consoles folding eventually,
Yeah.
and them just developing for other platforms, whether it's Google streaming, or Microsoft hardware, or Apple's whatever it is. Like I see them eventually just licensing out their titles in their studios to other platforms, if they do not figure something out. And it's amazing because all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, we now have a streaming. Sony said we have a streaming app now, so you can now play your PlayStation on your iOS. Great. Immediately, Microsoft announced their.
That's my next story here.
Yeah, they're. I can't remember which way it's going. Is it Windows to Xbox or Xbox and Windows?
You can stream PC games to an Xbox One.
Yeah, it was almost immediately.
So it's vice versa.
It's like okay, so clearly Microsoft had this just in their back pocket waiting. So I'm curious to know what Microsoft has also waiting for any Sony announcement that they're going to issue.
But this is what's funny. The PS4 is definitely outselling the Xbox One, but
Yes.
Sony is playing catch up in terms of services.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very odd thing because they waited too long. They were on the top of their hill. They thought, oh, we can rest for a bit and not advance anything. You know, Microsoft's way behind, and then Microsoft has to be competitive to catch up. And so they make all these great features.
Yeah, and
now Sony has to catch up when they
it's-
should have been doing this from day one.
Yeah, and it's paying off. Like
I think this is a real question of Microsoft has the service game, and I'd say the infrastructure. This is a question of how much value do people put into exclusives? Because even if Sony were to get like Rockstar Games and lock those down to PlayStation only, there's still going to be tons of games like you were saying, Anthem and Division and all those. Those are still going to be PS5, Xbox 2, or whatever. Those are still going to be across. So like I think what really the question is like, do people care so much about Microsoft getting all these really crazy service integrations with the Switch and stuff, or do people care about The Last of Us? Because I've mentioned Xbox Live being on a couple of consoles and on phones to a couple of my buddies, and they're like, "What? So what does that mean?" Like they don't care. It's like, so can I still use Xbox Live on my Xbox? Like that's literally the question.
A problem is too we don't know what Xbox's numbers are, so we can't see if this is increasing sales at all.
like
No,
yeah.
I'm saying for next gen.
Yeah.
Like what launching pad is going to?
No, I understand that,
move
but
the winner?
currently their console has a lot of these services.
Yes.
And they've not announced numbers on their console because they're drastically lower than Sony's.
They're lower, but like I'm convinced that Xbox is playing the long game.
Yeah, for sure.
And while Sony is still selling the hardware, like Xbox is seeing is like the future of this industry is not hardware. Like eventually we're gonna have minimal boxes and we're just gonna be doing everything on our end. So they're really just laying the foundation for services, and they just keep on beefing up that Game Pass, and it's looking more and more appealing every fucking day.
Fallout 4 today came out.
They announced the Halo collection coming to PC.
That is a killer move. People are
Yeah.
sending them too much pizza. I don't know if you saw that.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's just like Microsoft is just taking all these right steps for the future, and then I'm trying to also explain like Xbox Live on Nintendo for like to Nintendo fanboys, and They're in their whole little weird little.
Well, you know
worlds.
what? I mean, Sony could survive on just being that secondary console, much like the Nintendo consoles have been for the last couple of generations, where everyone has, well, like at least hardcore gamers would have an Xbox or PS4, and their secondary console would be Nintendo because they wanted those exclusives.
That's a really good point.
Nintendo survives on their exclusives. And for me, and I know a lot of people online, and they obviously the sales data shows people love the Sony exclusives, you know? So I think they could at least survive the next gen.
Yeah, but I think if they think they're going to survive with like selling hardware, like if I think
There's definitely one more hardware cycle.
Yeah, there's one more hardware cycle, but
After that, who knows what's happening?
Yeah, I think
and during that period, who knows what's
I think
happening.
if they think is like, oh yeah, we will just. I think if they think the console market is going to be sell this game or this piece of hardware so they can play our AAA titles, it's just I don't see it going that way.
I would say though that there's still the separation. I would say that hardware possibilities is a secondary concern to people separating hardware, if that makes sense. So what it is like I still think that people see their cell phone, whether it be a smartphone or otherwise, as a phone, as a communication device. And they might play Candy Crush on there or something, but I don't think they see that as a console. And they certainly don't see it in general as a computer. Like even a computer yet. They haven't even like there's Samsung DeX, which makes your phone kind of into a computer. But that graduation is slow, if anything.
I love that concept though.
But the thing is that like we're techies here. Like we look at tech. The general person thinks this thing right here, this cell phone is a cell phone.
Meant for phone games.
That is a phone. That is a TV. TVs play games and also play Netflix. There's still like that mental separation.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I would say that where it's smart to get into all this, people are still going to be like, why would I want to play games with my smartphone? They're not going to get it, and they're not going to look into it either.
I don't think
like it's going to be a slow transition, if anything.
It's going to be slow, maybe a generation long transition.
I don't think they tried hard enough because I think they were just kind of like hedging their bets a bit. And
mean?
like they had like BioShock and like KOTOR and stuff. They had some console games show up on the iPad and an iPhone, right? But I feel like they should have developed a brand new IP or take a popular franchise, make a new game. Any developer that wanted to actually push into the mobile market in a serious way, and sell a controller that comes with the game or something, and say this controller works with your iPhone. It comes with BioShock 4, you know, and it's a brand new title on your iPad.
Sony should have chased that PlayStation Xperia. They should have hunted that down. Sure, the first one failed terribly, but go after it. What are you guys doing?
But like they kind of gave up on it and said, "Oh, only Match 3 games work on phones," and like, "Oh, no one wants to play a console quality title on a phone."
Fools.
And they just gave up on it.
And that would have pushed their phones.
Yeah.
And they would have had another successful division.
Yeah. So.
I forgot my point.
I think that this is also another thing too is if Microsoft is king of the services and people start wanting to look for like even if let's say Sony drops their hardware, which is going to be probably the biggest change if at all, someone's still got to make that set-top box, and I think Microsoft's planning to be that guy to offer every game service. Like, oh, we offer PlayStation games on this thing.
That'd be nuts, yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, and it's like
And
just
they run on Azure.
Microsoft said that they're gonna bring Xbox titles to Nintendo Switch. They've already started with the announcement of Hellblade.
That's fucking crazy.
It's just like that's fucking.
I feel bad for those developers.
Why?
Trying to get that game onto it's definitely it's going to take some hits.
But this is Microsoft's.
They're gonna have to
Microsoft's
scale
gonna
it back, but they'll figure it out. But it's just like the thought of just having one console where you could play your Gears, your Halo, and your Mario. Like, imagine seeing those characters on your Nintendo Dash screen together.
Feel gross.
That's fucking insane.
That's fucking crazy.
Like
That is
5
that
years
is fucking
ago,
crazy.
if I could time travel, tell myself 5 years ago me that I'd be like, "You're fucking get the hell out of here." Who's president? Donald Trump now? Like, come on, like.
But yeah, the industry as a whole, like even in terms of tech, is definitely moving towards services. So maybe Microsoft is making a lot of right
Fucking
moves here.
Google's rumored service announcement.
Their console.
Their controller.
Oh,
I
didn't look at it.
I thought that got
up
shot
at all.
down too. I thought they said that was fake.
I didn't look it up
It was
at all.
pretty ugly too.
Oh, the design the patents are though meant to patent design or
But
patent
they had
functionality.
wasn't
not
there like a
design.
prototype picture?
Is there a prototype picture?
I
I,
don't
thought I thought it was just
I didn't follow it because I didn't really
I
care
thought it was just a
about
wireframe drawing, but like
I don't know.
like a patent is just meant to patent the functionality. Not
But I saw pictures of like an actual Google controller. It might have just been a mock-up someone made and threw up as their thumbnail.
was it all different colors like their logo?
No, it was just white and then like the
Do you
buttons were the different colors.
Do you like how I did the different colors for Google?
That was good. I like that. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was nice. I heard a story of when Steve Jobs was sick. He actually like called up Google and said one of your colors is wrong. He found like a Google logo somewhere, and like called up Google and said one of your colors is wrong.
That's cool, I guess. I don't know.
It was just his attention to detail. That was all. All right, is that it? That's about it. At least the guys got anything else you want to talk about?
You don't have any other stories in there?
We kind of covered it with the Microsoft
What was
stuff.
that other story?
It was the PC to Xbox One streaming, and it was their services on other platforms.
Well, what's interesting about that is so backwards. Like I've had Xbox One streaming, so from console to PC for a while on on my Windows 10 tablet. That's such a different perspective that like it begs the question like what are we going to be using for a gaming thing? Like is a gaming PC going to go away at this point?
Well, I
Like,
think
not
I
right
think
away, but
you said you'd like playing in front of your monitor.
I not necessarily from a monitor. I realize I like to
Sitting
be
at a desk.
I like to be close. The same way desk is also just because I like to be cozied in. Like I like to be nestled in.
Yeah.
Because I also have a wall and an L desk, so like I'm just kind of covered. Like I'm kind of alcoved in. But I think it's also just mainly I like to be closer to a monitor. I like to be that distance away that you are now to your monitor than you would be from this distance away to a bigger monitor.
But the size kind of makes up for it.
I'd
But anyway,
rather be there.
I like being on a couch. I like playing on a big TV. So this would actually be beneficial for me. I mean, I don't really need to because my PC's right there. But streaming a PC, if I had it at a desk somewhere else where I couldn't move it, and be able to stream it to my Xbox One, that'd be great.
well, this begs the question of whether. So
We
right
should
now,
download the app and try it right now.
well, what I was going to say though is like right now we already have everyone already for the most part has like infrastructure in their house in the form of a modem and a router or a combo unit,
Yeah.
and then they have cable boxes on each TV. And oftentimes now that's actually served by the internet in some cases. Like if you have fiber internet,
The bell,
oftentimes
It's
the
wireless
actual
TV.
TV will come through it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really begging the question now is whether we're going to see all of this go away. The TV has to stay because we need something to display the image. But like, are we going to have eventually like literally like a box shelf, like we'll have like a networking closet, and you'll just like stick your Xbox set-top box, your PlayStation set-top box,
like what rich people have.
your PC set-top box.
That's what most new homes are coming with.
No,
My- my-
I'm talking like a set-top box in which you stream it to everything. Like I'm saying, like every house is just gonna have one killer router. There's gonna be like a cheap set-top box for the PlayStation and the Xbox, let's say, maybe the Nintendo thing, and then you just have TVs, and the TV just streams it from that thing, and so everyone just plays Xbox, like, because everything just streams.
I don't know about that.
Like, because if we're talking these
That'd
set-top
be-
boxes
it'd
are going
be-
away,
It'd be really convenient if
It
that
would
was
be
the
convenient.
case.
Like right now, my brother-in-law's house, he has a server rack set up in a closet around, like in his living room. You just see the TV.
Although
Everything is fed behind. To actually get to those things, you actually have to leave and go around to a hallway, go all the way down a hallway, because that actually goes into you open it up and there's just a server rack there, and everything is kind of filed in there. And then there's a smart HDMI switcher in there, which he's prioritized which ones. So it's like if I put my PC on a higher priority than my PS4, when I turn on that PC, it will automatically switch that PC. And when I turn it off and it doesn't detect a signal, it will switch it back down to the PS4.
that's pretty good. I like that.
and now that the smart TVs have all these apps built in, you could just have a PlayStation or Xbox app built into the TV.
Those fucking shit ass apps.
But TVs are getting better. On like the early days of smart TVs was pretty rough.
But this will offload like that's still having a redundant piece of hardware. Like if you wanted to play your PlayStation and it was part of a smart TV here and upstairs, you would still need essentially two. Like I mean, you still need two TVs, but you're paying essentially for two pieces of PlayStation hardware in there.
Mm-hmm.
If everything is becoming streaming and things are becoming more of a service, but like let's say there still needs to be a place to store the game if you want to have like two offline games or something. you would still need some sort of set-top box, but like maybe we're getting to the point where we're just going to have it in the closet, and it's just going to be like you sign into it because there's not much computing going on board eventually anyway. Think about these smartphones got rid of freaking home phones. Those things are gone, man. Those things are dead, basically.
I still have mine.
No, like people still will, but like
They're left over though. But I don't know if we had a new house if we would get one or not.
Oh no, definitely not. New house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only in like legacy houses essentially so like these things could kill it. How many? I don't even use an email client on my computer anymore. I just use my phone,
Really?
or I just use the web app.
Oh fuck! I hate using web apps.
Where do you view your PDFs?
Where do I view my PDFs?
There's a question.
Are you talking about my PC or my phone?
Your PC.
My PC, I have two different versions of Adobe installed. So I have the new Adobe DC, like that one that super new uber clean looking one that they have that they're pushing. I have that one, but that's a free version because you have to subscribe to that one. I do have a one-time bought license for a Adobe Acrobat Pro.
That's nice.
So I use that one for like if I ever want to combine PDFs or make like PDF portfolios. I launch up that one specifically. Most of the time I just use Adobe DC because then what happens is I can literally save it to my cloud and I can it's right here.
He just uses Chrome.
Yeah, it's just Chrome. Might as well.
What?
It's just Chrome. All my PDFs are coming from the internet anyway. So I just use Chrome.
From his mail browser, his mail client in his browser.
Oh.
Just close the PDF in another tab.
Actually, no.
Was it just pop up?
Outlook.com just opens up documents now.
There you go.
So I just open in there.
Yes, if you are remoting in and you like for me, when I used to do work not at home and I was at an office in Toronto.
Yeah.
I used to sign in a private browser to Outlook, and then that just acted as my remote desktop, and I
Right.
would just do all my documents. Like that was good for off-site work when I needed to do it.
Yeah.
But if I'm at my PC, use Chrome.
I use Chrome, man.
Like how do you write in a signature or how do you do PDF editing in that?
If I want to edit?
Yeah.
If I want to edit, I use Zodo.
Never mind. All right, this is episode
Hey,
240.
whoa.
This is 244.
That's an actual app on the Microsoft Store.
That was great.
This is 244, folks.
Yeah.
I'm not buying an no
All
Adobe
right.
Acrobat Pro.
It's free. There's a free version.
Yeah, Acrobat DC. Is
Not
free.
for editing though, is it?
Not for editing, but
Yeah, see?
how
How do you edit it?
Wait, you can still fill and sign though.
you
Can't
can fill and sign and
Yeah.
comment. You can't edit PDFs. Like if you gave me PDFs that separate these two pages,
Yeah.
you need the Pro.
Oh, I just use Zodo.
Yeah, and then if I wanted to combine them, you need Pro.
You can freaking convert it to a freaking Word document. You can convert PDFs to Word documents.
You can convert PDF to Word documents.
That's really impressive.
If you ever want to save a Word as a PDF, don't ever save as a PDF.
What do you do?
Go print to PDF.
Oh, that's how I do it on the Mac anyway.
Okay, because saving as PDF, I learned the hard way, is it won't always take the font the typeface. That it will sometimes alter it slightly, and I learned that the hard way after I sent off a resume one time.
Jeez.
It's slightly changed the typeface and it shifted stuff down. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's because I saved as PDF. All I did was print as PDF and then literally just took it as an image.
It'll never be as bad as Brent's though.
That's so.
The hell does that mean?
We had a class assignment of making a resume.
This was like
and
10 years ago now.
Yeah, he put a border on his, right?
Okay.
Like a normal fancy border for a resume.
But you don't put borders on resumes.
No,
like
you
that's
don't.
just you don't do
I was
that.
gonna say, like, what is he? What's
He
he
don't,
doing?
but he did. And so he instead of printing it at home, he brought the file to school.
And it didn't have the font.
It didn't have the font for the border. He prints it, and it's a bunch of cats.
It's like a basic
Did he hand
word.
it in?
Yeah.
But he just get a zero, a big old zero.
I don't know.
Fuck, I would have given it a zero. Cats zero.
Yeah, always print as PDF.
It was so good. All right, that's episode 244. Thanks for listening. Me and Matt stream on the Twitch there at twitch.tv/day1patchmedia.
By the way,
We had some serious issues. Don't worry.
No, well, that's the thing. Though, but I've noticed this even on previous ones. So this has nothing to do with the issues you guys had on Wednesday. But when I clicked on another random Metro stream to test this, when I'm in that another random Metro stream, my streaming options whether on Wi-Fi or LTE, I can pick any resolution from 160 to all the way to 1080.
Yeah.
With yours, it's either auto, which is detecting at 720, or it's source, which is 720.
Correct.
I cannot pick a lower resolution. Why
That's
is
right.
that?
Because we're not a partner.
We're not even
So
we're not even affiliates.
We're low. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hierarchy
There's
is.
affiliate and then partner. We're
So
not even we're not even affiliate.
low tier on the Twitch.
We
So
can
you're
only,
bitch class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you keep watching, we might be able to become an affiliate.
Well, I
There you
am,
go.
so I'm
All
doing
you need
my
is 25
part.
followers, I think.
25 followers and a few other things. Just like
And that
you
gives
need, to,
you
you
an
need to stream so many times per every 30 days.
And that gives you an affiliate status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you
affiliate.
get more options.
Just go over to Mixer, guys.
Well, we're looking at doing OBS, in which at
stream
that
to
point we
everything.
will stream to Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube simultaneously.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
I was like, what? Why get the fuck can I never change the resolution? Because I was gonna watch you guys, but I was also playing Overwatch and didn't want to go on my Wi-Fi. So I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll stream them on LTE.
Yeah.
And then it's like 720 only. I'm like, this isn't happening.
It's weird though that they wouldn't give you lower resolutions even.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
I feel like if they're gonna handicap.
That's probably another problem with stupid
Elgato.
Elgato. Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe that is a problem. Actually,
Maybe, but like,
Twitch is
I
supposed to be
found
letting
it
it.
weird. I'm like, if they're gonna handicap you, I feel like they would handicap you at 480 and
480
say,
makes sense,
you
yeah.
if you want to go higher, these people.
But 720 nowadays looks like crap on high resolution displays. It does not look good anymore.
And so
I
then you wouldn't be able to
can't-
get
I
a
can't.
following.
On a
Right.
720 display, yes, looks fine.
Yeah, I can't
But on,
tell.
on Retina displays or high resolution, high DPI displays,
That goes with
Garbaggio.
that goes with any resolution. Standard def looks better on standard def than standard def does on.
yes.
high
But I'm
def.
just saying, 720 is not what it used to be.
Ain't what it used to be.
All right,
It used to
we'll
be.
see you guys.
Peace.